This is Mills from America, and welcome back to another RC505 loopstation tutorial with Mills 505. Alright, so this is I'm really excited because this is the second tutorial of year 2021. The first tutorial we did was about a week ago, and we kicked it off with intonation. This time, we're gonna talk about an effect which can be used in single and multi input and output called tape echo. So I should probably link a Google search thing which can explain to you tape echo. A little quick tutorial on how people in mainstream, so like producers and how other people perceive it, what they think about. And so, without further ado, I'm just going to turn the camera around and I'm just going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go.
All right, so here we are. Like I said in the intro part, I'm going to demonstrate the input part of this, and then the second half of this middle part will be on the output. So I'm gonna actually demonstrate this in two of my previous routines. So for the input part, I'm gonna demonstrate it with this. Okay. So first of all, you're gonna notice that if you have dynamics on, that it is incompatible. So if you're gonna to change that to something else. Okay, here we go. Tape echo. So tape echo. So tape echo is your up filter is your top, reverb is your bottom, so it's about right in the middle. So you know how every effect uses one of their parameters as with the big knob. So this one is the echo level. So as you heard me messing around before, I'd honestly dial it back to maybe like 70, not a full 100. So I got the echo level, the intensity. Intensity, basically, if you lower it down, it means you're barely going to hear it. Repeat rate is where the fun and the magic lies, to be honest with you. So you could do anything like percussion. You can do percussion. You can do melody. Now listen to what I did here and try to guess how I made it to sound like this. Want to know the cool thing? All I did was I just held ooh and I used tape echo. So for most other routines, I'd have to go ooh. Well, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is use tape echo, IFXC, like this. Just make sure that if you're going to use tape echo that way, that you keep still your starting pitch. Ooh, because if you change it, then it's going to sound kind of sloppy like this. You could do whatever you want, but to me it just seems a lot cleaner if you do it so that it ends up sounding like this. Okay, so that's the simple IFX way that I use it. Okay, now, okay. Now I'm going to switch over to my other routine and I'm going to show you how I use it on the TFX side. And now I'm on my TLO routine. I'll probably link it up there as well. Okay. So now I have it on TFX. So just you should honestly memorize that when in doubt, if you're on assuming you're on multi, your letter C is tape echo. So just memorize that. Tape echo C or C tape echo, whatever you want to do. Okay. So now this is the loop phrase without tape echo. Yeah, so it's a pretty long phrase, and if you regularly follow my looping, you notice I like to use long loop phrases, very musical stuff. Okay, so watch what happens if you're gonna use a TFX on a longer loop phrase. I would personally recommend that you wait for the most dramatic parts of it. So instead of doing this, you see how that doesn't sound that musical? So this is what I would do. I would keep this off. And realistically, if this was the fade part, I'd be moving around buttons anyway, making sure that this is on my C. If it was on something else, all right. So you see how timing becomes very important because watch what so I just did the timing part correctly. Watch what happens if I kind of mess up the timing towards the end. See, that already sounds not so musical. Now I'm going to make it even worse. Yeah. Like you see how when you want to, so depending if you really want to sit down and plan if you're going down in the melody, ooh, then I would highly recommend that on the repeat rate, which is the first parameter, that you actually plan it out like that. And then for vice versa, if you want to ooh, especially towards the end of routines, I've noticed like Jimmy from France and I, we like to increase the repeat rate at the end. But just make sure that like when you notice that when the loop phrase was about right here, that's when I timed it. Okay, so that it didn't kind of bleed into the like when the loop phrase repeated. Okay, now here's a cool thing. I'm gonna do. This is the last thing before we wrap this up. And let's just, for simplicity's sake, 100, 100, and then I'm going to show you what happens. So remember I said over on the input that the echo level was the big knob? Well, same thing over here on the TFX. It's still the big knob. See how it changes like that? Okay. Okay, so that's cool. But did you notice that you might want to turn the intensity down? So let's see what happens if we turn the intensity down. It's not that it doesn't really change much, right? Now watch what happens. This is to prove to you the really big difference between intensity and repeat rate. So let's just turn the repeat rate down. Yeah, maybe right there. Okay, let's try this again. Make sure that's reset to the maximum 100. Yeah, it's cool, right? And this is a cool fade idea. Did you notice how, like, as the loop phrase was right here, I intentionally had it right here, and then I the last sound before the phrase, and then all right. Okay, so that was the TFX side in my TLO Hristovo routine, and there you go.
All right, so I hope that tutorial was fun, interesting. I know it's one of the weirdest effects, but the point is that just because, and listen to me carefully, just because an effect is weird doesn't mean that you should feel afraid to use it. Have fun. And honestly, I know in our last tutorial I broke down the musicality score. Well, this time I just want to break down the originality score. You can do some serious damage to your loop opponents if you use things such as tape echo. And there's another effect, slow gear, which is even more rare than that. I don't know if I'm going to do a tutorial on that because honestly there isn't that much to show about it. But anyways, I hope you love this tutorial. I think we're going to just keep making more tutorials. I have some other ideas coming on down the pipeline. So like, comment, subscribe, let me know if you enjoyed it, and shout out to Ben Beat. Yeah.